There is a protest coming. This has to be the biggest march and the first act of demonstration on the streets of all African states in Africa's history. This march will be 100 times bigger than the March for Civil Rights in Washington, which brought together over 250,000 black people in 1963. This will be a march in support of Captain Ibrahim Traoré of Burkina Faso. This shall not be the end, but just the beginning, ladies and gentlemen. The reason is simple. France and the United States government needs to back off from any attempt to remove Captain Traoré from office. Forget about your plans. Forget about his name and his country. Let it go, America and France. Begin looking for an alternative outside of Africa. He's our own. He is doing exactly what the people of Burkina Faso and many other African countries wish their leaders were doing for them. And that's exactly how it should remain. He is to us what the patriots were to the American cause when it came to the freedom of America from British rule in the American Revolutionary War in 1775. He is to us what Mao Zedong of China was to the Chinese people in 1966 in their fight for China's preservation from imperialists. Captain Ibrahim Traoré, contrary to what the West wants the world to believe, is a modern day African hero, and this will never change. Have you seen the video of the newly elected Namibian president, the female president? She has insisted that if America requires visas from Namibians to travel to America, then moving forward, her new government requires American passport holders to apply for visas in order to travel to Namibia. Ladies and gentlemen, I attribute this level of bravery exhibited by the first female president of Namibia, Madame Netumbo Nandi Ndaitwah, as something propelled by the brave act of Captain Traoré. She is reported to have ordered for the deportation of over 500 Americans out of Namibia. Trust me, this move by Captain Traoré could spark the spirit of Pan-Africanism in African leaders if we can protect the captain's life. This is what the West is fearful of, ladies and gentlemen. That our weak president all of a sudden are emboldened by one man to begin to act in favor of their people and not the West. This is their true fear. But no amount of propaganda or smearing at his name or actions will work this time. Therefore, ladies and gentlemen, this is to you, every young person, middle-aged and old men and women of this continent. You have to take this personal. That is where we have come to. We have to send a loud and clear message to the West that their time is up. Not just to leave Burkina Faso alone, but for all of Africa. The times when Africans were picked apart, exploited, abused, and destroyed are over. The times when they divided us and dominated us are far gone. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are hearing me today and you are an African living on the motherland or in the diaspora, this is not some mere coincidence. It is a perfectly appointed time for you to see this video and to act on it. It's a call to duty and to do the needful. Do not allow yourself, I repeat, do not allow yourself as an African to be used as a Judas to betray the captain. I repeat, do not allow yourself to be bought and paid for to destroy the future of Burkina Faso and the hope of Africa. Do not be a tool for destruction when change is on the horizon. It won't end well for you. You will not succeed. You will be remembered on the wrong side of history. You will be caught in your path. To our African brothers and sisters in the French and the US Army who cannot have enough of your paymasters and will do anything to get the approval of your white supervisors, be very, very worried for what the future holds for you and your children in the country you are desperately dying for. Remember, your ancestors were used and dumped in the past, and the same will happen to you. To the Africans living in the diaspora, remember this. The diaspora is not your home. They don't love you like that. You will never be a part of them. And you don't have to. Don't waste your life trying to become them, because they will always see you for who you truly are, a black man or a woman from Africa. And that's exactly who you are. Embrace it. Be proud of it. And join in this protest. And ultimately, put in plans to return to your true home. Because Africa is bleeding. Africa has been damaged for so long, ladies and gentlemen. They have masterminded the demise of our continent ever before our forefathers had the chance to think. Majority of our leaders have been puppets until now. Right now, we have a true leader in the young soldier. Let's rally around him. Don't trust the words of a Western capitalist. The agenda has been the same since ever. How to maximize profit at the barest cost. Ladies and gentlemen, once they see you rise and be wise like China did, they come at you with all sorts of attacks. Remember, they came in disguised as traders, but with the intention of colonizing and extracting. They colonized our forefathers, freely extracted our natural resources for centuries, and still want to control we, the remnants, and our leftover resources. Till today, they still want to have their way. So they set agendas for us. They execute them and leave us wondering why our lives are so miserable. They pitch us, one person against the other, and make us think we are the problem, when in fact they create the problem to keep us disoriented, so that, ladies and gentlemen, they can continue to loot whatever they want, whenever they want, as long as they want. They have no intention to stop, ladies and gentlemen, because their survival, their very survival, is tied up to our resources. The only language they understand is chaos. They will create chaos and cause millions to lose their lives if that's what it will take for them to have their way. They have done it severally. They did it in Libya against Gaddafi. They did it in Syria and in Haiti and in many other places. Ladies and gentlemen, see how Libya is damaged post Gaddafi. Therefore, we are going to be diplomatic in our first approach. We are going to start with a protest on every major capital street of Africa and walk to two different Western embassies. The United States of America's embassy and the French embassy, with a letter to present. In that letter, we want to tell them, leave the captain alone. It's as simple as that. No fighting, no burning, no attacking. Leave Captain Ibrahim Traoré alone. If you find him a criminal, that's bad for you, because we don't. We find him a hero, a revolutionist. Leave him alone. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you are all in for this and want to participate in this march, let's hear from you. We expect to throw this march across Africa on the same day, simultaneously, in the coming month. I'm talking about May. We shall communicate with further details in the coming days. This is the roll call for African countries we expect to participate. All African countries. Lastly, be careful of the schemes of the colonizers. This is the very moment when they shall start to entice you with aids and grants as though they loved you, when in fact they don't even see you as a human being. This is their typical strategy. It has always been the same. The moment we have someone rise up to lead us out of the trenches, they quickly put together their propaganda machinery to oust that person, whether through bad publicity, propaganda, or mercenaries, ladies and gentlemen. And they have succeeded in the past. So look out for these traits. The preparation for the march in support for Captain Ibrahim Traoré is underway, and further information on it will be brought out soon, ladies and gentlemen. The talking is enough. If you are a youth leader in any part of Africa and wants to organize the groups for this purpose in your country, please subscribe and follow us on our TikTok page. It's the same name, Tuntum Network. We shall provide further information on how to join the group. We need to act fast, because these guys are ramping up their forces to move in fast against the captain, and we must also be quick. Stand up, African youth, and fight for what is ours. Subscribe and keep watching. The full details and the strategies for the march in support for Captain Ibrahim Traoré of Burkina Faso in May of this year will be brought out soon. God bless the captain and God bless the people of Burkina Faso and all of Africa. I'll come your way very, very soon with another one. Until then, it is bye-bye for now.